Good morning. We're so glad to see you all today. We had such a great turnout. It's amazing. We've missed mingling with our members and hearing from you. We have a great meeting planned for you today. You're going to hear from our board president, our CEO, and a treasurer's report, and then a presentation by our corporate attorney showing the election results. The business meeting will adjourn, but don't leave. We're going to have the prize drawing and the scholarship drawing. It is my pleasure to introduce our board chairman, Mr. Gerald Edmondson.
Good morning, and welcome to Chelco's 2022 annual meeting. Our last in-person meeting was 3 years ago in 2019. I'm glad to see each and every person here today so we can resume our tradition of spending time with our members. Thank you all for coming out today. As was mentioned, I'm Gerald Edmondson, President of Chelco Board of Trustees. I formally and officially call the 2022 annual meeting to order. Before we get started, we would like to begin the meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance, the National Anthem, and an invocation led by my fellow Chelco trustee, Ronnie Jones. Please welcome the Walton High School Color Guard. Ready, salute, pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. At this time, I invite Chelco trustee Ronnie Jones, who is currently serving his 40th year on the Chelco board, to lead our invocation.
Let's pray. Father, we're grateful for your love and your mercy and your blessings. Thank you for the opportunity to come here today and discuss the business of our cooperative. I pray that all that we say and do will be honorable unto you. We thank you for the protection of our employees and the work that they do and how you've blessed us as a company over many years. In Christ's name, amen.
At this time, we'll have our national anthem video.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's bright glare, the bombs bursting in
I'd like to thank Ronnie Jones again for her invocation. You may be seated. I would like to extend a warm welcome to a few special guests with us today. We are joined by Walton County Commissioner Boots McCormick, Major Catherine Congdon of the United States Space Force. She is representing Lieutenant Colonel Maynard. Samantha Cutzinger, Executive Assistant to Okaloosa County Commissioner Mixon, and by Alicia Hounsell of the Florida Electric Cooperatives Association. At this time, I would like to introduce your Board of Trustees. Lee Perry, District 1, Terry Pilcher, District 2, Reese Harrison, District 3, Brady Bearden, District 4, Ronald Jones, District 5, Gail Hughes, District 7, District 8, and then Dwayne Davis, District 9. I sure got those out of order, but you can see them on the board there. I want to thank these dedicated men and women for serving Chalco membership. Now, our board attorney, Jeff McInnes, was unable to join us today, but we are pleased to have his esteemed colleagues from Anchor, Smith, and Grimsley, Mr. Shiraz Hossain, with us. I now invite Attorney Hossain to read the proof of mailing and the announcement of determination of the quorum and the trustee election results.
Good morning. My name is Shiraz Hossain, and I'm happy to be here today to present you with the results of the Choctawhatchee Electric Cooperative 2022 election of trustees by mail ballot. On March the 4th, 2022, 48,615 ballots were mailed to the active members of the cooperative. In accordance with Article 2, Section 5 of the cooperative's bylaws, auditors Warren Averett counted all votes received at their office by 5 p.m. on April 4th, 2022. This date was not later than 5 days prior to the annual meeting. A total of 5,469 valid responses were received by April 4th, 2022. Therefore, the 2% quorum of 972 responses required by Article 2, Section 14 of the cooperative's bylaws were met. The results of the voting are as follows. For District 2, the winner was Mr. Terry Pilcher. For District 4, the winner was Mr. Brady Bearden. And for District 6, the winner was Mr. Gerald Edmondson. Thank you.
The 2021 annual minutes have been posted around the campus this morning, and they're shown here on our screen. I need a motion to accept the minutes as presented. Do I hear a second? Have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye. All opposed, no. The 2021 annual meeting minutes are approved. I am proud to serve as the board president and represent Chalco's membership. These last couple of years during the COVID pandemic have presented some of the most unusual circumstances I've seen in my 27 years on the Chalco Board of Trustees. There's really no set of rules on how to approach an ongoing situation like the one we faced. I'm proud of the efforts made by the board and staff to keep our members and employees safe while working with the ever-changing guidelines. Like many other businesses, at times we face significant COVID-related absences, but we take the phrase "proud to be Chalco" seriously, and we persevered. We continued to provide excellent member service and reliable power when people were home and needed it the most. Honestly, this does not come as a huge surprise to me. We approach the COVID crisis as we do everything else, the cooperative way. A cooperative's goal is not to maximize profit for shareholders. We are owned by you, our members. You may not remember, but when you signed up for Chelco service, you paid a $5 membership fee. As a not-for-profit electric cooperative, Chelco serves only its members. I value the cooperative model because it means working together toward a common goal. Membership in our cooperative is open to all persons who can reasonably use our services and stand willing to accept the responsibilities of membership. We have bylaws that govern how we are structured and how board members are elected. We also have a duty to hold a public annual meeting where the entire membership is invited, and we are doing that today. Any bylaw changes are voted upon. This includes minor adjustment to language within the document or major decisions regarding the cooperative. There have been several misconceptions that Chelco was or is going to be sold or absorbed by a larger utility company. If this were the case, all members would have to vote on any discussion of disbanding the cooperative here at a meeting such as this. We do not intend to investigate being purchased by or merging with another entity. The Board of Trustees and leadership at Chelco do not believe that this is in the best interest of our membership. We, the Board of Trustees, are elected members. We live here. We're your neighbors. We meet right here in this community every month. And during those gatherings, the board's responsibility is to develop long-range strategy, set policies, oversee the CEO, and represent the member in the cooperative's operation. As you are probably aware, Gulf Power merged with Florida Power and Light and implemented a rate increase earlier this year. Their headquarters office is in Juno Beach, Florida, just north of West Palm Beach. That is not the case with Chelco. The decision makers are here in this community. Our headquarters is in Defuniak Springs, and we have 5 other offices throughout our service territory where members can speak with a Chelco representative in person. The Chelco board has a vested interest in the quality of service as well as the cost of electricity to the membership. It is my opinion, as one of your representatives on the board, that Chelco is a well-managed and financially strong cooperative, and I believe Chelco is managing our resources in the most efficient manner. 61 cents of every dollar paid to Chelco is used to pay for the power we provide to you. The remaining 39 cents covers operating and infrastructure costs. This includes things like investments in poles and lines, maintenance of the system, administrative costs, interest and taxes. While some costs are out of our direct control, such as wholesale power costs, interest and taxes, we are dedicated to controlling what we can. A growing membership helps to share costs. Last year alone, we added nearly 2,300 new member accounts. Cooperatives use 7 guiding principles. Concern for community is principle number 7. At Chelco, we take this very seriously. We care about not only the people who use our resources and service, but those in the communities where we live and serve. Last year, through our member-funded Operation Roundup program, 21 grants were awarded, totaling over $59,000. These grants included Food for Thought outreach, Children in Crisis, the Fisher House of the Emerald Coast, and many more. The Chelco employees are a charitable group too. In 2021, they donated more than $22,000 out of their own pockets to support organizations such as United Way, The Matrix, American Heart Association, and the Emerald Coast Autism Center. I know these donations and grants helped a tremendous amount of people. We are very proud of the generous spirit at Chelco. In closing, I want to thank the board for their leadership this past year. Thank you to our CEO, the senior staff and leadership team, and all the Chelco employees for their hard work this past year. Thank you for your attention this morning and for your support of Chelco, and we're looking forward to another great year. At this time, I would like to introduce Chelco trustee, Ms. Gail Hughes, to give the treasurer's report.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Gail Hughes, and I serve as the treasurer on the Board of Trustees. My job here today is to inform you of the cooperative's financial performance in 2021. It is the board's responsibility to ensure that the cooperative's financial statements are audited every year. The audit firm of Warren Averett in Fort Walton Beach was retained to audit the 2021 financial statements. Their job is to express an opinion on the accuracy of the statements that are created by management. I am pleased to inform you that for the year ended December 31st, 2021, Warren Averett issued an unqualified opinion about the cooperative's financials. This is the highest level there is, and they noted that there were no matters they considered to be of material weakness. In everyday terms, the cooperative's books were thoroughly examined and no issues were found. In spite of the lingering impacts created by the pandemic, Chelco performed well financially. Notably, we added 60 miles of new distribution lines and now serve well over 4,400 miles. This is approximately the distance from where you are sitting here today in Anchorage, Alaska. During the year, over 2,300 new members joined the cooperative, and we sold 959 million kilowatt hours of electricity and served 60,830 meter points. Chelco's distribution plant now stands at a total of $376 million. This includes things like lines, poles, transformers, everything that is necessary to deliver electricity to our members. To continue to grow and serve our members, Chelco must remain financially strong. 2021 was a great year as management continued to control costs while ensuring that we have the financial strength to meet the needs of a growing community and maintain a system that provides reliable service. I thank you for your attention and for your continued support of Chelco.
Thank you, Gail. Now I'd like to introduce Chelco's CEO, Steve Rhodes. Steve started his career with Chelco in 2013. He is a pleasure to work with in the boardroom. He is an excellent leader, which shows in his planning, his patience, his performance, and his interaction with employees. We have seen and continue to see improvement throughout the cooperative with his guidance. Please welcome Chelco CEO, Steve Rhodes.
Thank you, Gerald. I appreciate that. I want to welcome everyone. It's been said already. We've got a good crowd here today. It's been 3 years since we've done this in person. The last couple of years we did just a little private, and we had a screen in front of us and we recorded it and it was sent out to you to view. But this is much better, and we appreciate you being here and all your smiling faces. Now, before I go any farther, I want to lay down a couple of ground rules. Actually, just one ground rule is that no matter what I say or do, no one is allowed to come up here and slap me. That's the one rule. Okay, I have a couple survey questions. How many of you, and when you respond to this, raise your hand high, please. How many of you are here at a Chelco annual meeting for the first time? Wow. Good turnout, first timers. Welcome. We hope you come back in future years. Now, how many, as far as geographically, how many of you are here from Freeport and Point South? So Freeport and south of the bay. Okay, hands down. And finally, who else is here from, not from Freeport or south of the bay, from everywhere else, like Blue Water Bay, Paxton, Defuniak, hands up. That's great. We have a great cross-section of people here today. Okay. Next, I would like to, congratulate the trustees who were reelected. I appreciate working with them, and I look forward to working with Terry and Gerald and Brady for another 3 years. Congratulations on that. Also, I'd like to thank employees who are working the meeting today. Now, they work hard every day at Chelco to keep your lights on, so I want everybody to understand that, and I think you do. But also, if you're here, those of you, you saw them in the green shirts, they stand out, and that's a good thing. But for the employees, if you're in the room, would you please step forward and raise your hand so everyone can recognize you? Thank you. Thank you. Okay, a moment ago, I thanked the employees for all they do. I'd like to begin my prepared remarks today by thanking the Board of Trustees for your dedication to this organization and for working together with management and employees to provide the best possible service to our members. And on a personal note, I'd like to express my gratitude to the board for allowing me the privilege of leading this organization for the past 9 years. It has been and continues to be an honor to do so. 2021, what a strange and challenging year it was. Safe to say it was a year most of us will never forget. Social distancing, flatten the curve, and N95 are terms most of us never used until 2 years ago. The global pandemic affected every one of us in one way or another. My own family was affected by the COVID pandemic in a very negative way. Mark Smith, my brother-in-law, passed away from COVID last October. He was just 63 years old and a great guy. It was a horrible loss and one we still mourn. I also know firsthand that some of our employees and board members have also suffered through the loss of friends or family members. In fact, tragically, we lost one of our own trustees, Mr. Jim Bishop, to COVID in 2020. Although we didn't lose a single employee to the virus, we did face the challenge of a majority of our people contracting COVID and being off work at one time or another throughout the course of the year. What could we do? What could any of us do except continue moving forward as best we could? Here at Chelco, we were constantly faced with new and evolving challenges that required management, staff, and the board to adapt and overcome. In addition to the pandemic, there were and there continue to be material shortages, inflation, cost spikes, employee changes, and numerous other challenges. On a professional and business level, I can honestly say that in my 34 years of service to electric cooperatives, this situation has been the most unique and enduring long-term challenge that I've personally faced. This crisis has, in some way, touched most areas of the co-op, and it changed dramatically how we did our work. Fortunately, we were prepared, at least as prepared as you can be for a worldwide pandemic. That said, on many occasions, we had to improvise on the run. For example, we added nearly 2,300 new members in 2021. Chelco has been one of the fastest growing electric cooperatives in the nation the past few years. Now, as you can imagine, in an ever-changing COVID environment in which our workforce was constantly hampered by absences, this complicated matters greatly. Once again, employees adapted and overcame. And we've produced a short video to better illustrate the growth of our electric system and our area in general. Take a look.
According to the Florida Office of Economic and Demographic Research, nearly 1,000 people move to our state each day. At Chelco, we serve a diverse and fast-growing membership. That growth has allowed us to truly embody what it means to be a cooperative. With costs being spread out across more members, we've maintained affordable rates while investing in infrastructure upgrades geared toward improving safety and reliability. Each year, we measure our growth by net services and meter points. Dating back to 2004, these growth numbers have been positive every year, including our peak year in 2020 when we grew by nearly 2,500 meters. Last year wasn't far behind, and we welcomed another 2,300 members to our lines. More than 3,500 members have been added to our Hammock Bay substation since its construction in 2011. There are many other fast-growing developments throughout Chelco's service territory, and hundreds of new homes are currently under construction in Okaloosa and Walton counties. New schools have been built to educate the many children moving here. Seaside, as you know it today, did not exist just 40 years ago. It was just a beach with small cottages. From the initial development through today, Seaside and its surrounding communities on 30A continue to develop, which has resulted in an increase in economic development, contributing to the local economy on a large scale. Over the past 2 years, our membership growth rate is 4%. That is 4 times higher than the national co-op average of less than 1%. As a cooperative, we look to the future and plan strategically to ensure our members, new and old, get reliable and affordable electricity and high-quality service for years to come. We are Chelco, and we are powered by you.
Okay, let's take a few minutes to review your co-op's overall accomplishments in 2021. In any organization, you must clearly identify and state your goals if you're to accomplish anything of value. Simply put, our business goal is to control cost while maintaining or improving safety, service reliability, and member satisfaction, as well as employee engagement. It's a very simple concept, but don't be fooled. It's not easy. In fact, it's very difficult to balance all of these aspects of our business in such a way as to do well in each one of them. For example, if we stop trimming trees to reduce costs, we'll benefit financially in the short term, but the reliability of your electric service will suffer and your satisfaction with Chelco will diminish. I'm pleased to report that in 2021, we maintained our superior performance in 6 of the 9 individual metrics we track within the major categories listed on the previous slide. Furthermore, we rank in the top 25% of 850 electric co-ops nationally in metrics involving cost control, reliability of electric service, and member satisfaction. 2021 was another excellent year in comparison to our peers. Regarding member satisfaction, our customer satisfaction scores were considerably higher than respected organizations like Apple, Nike, and even Chick-fil-A. That's a new one this year. I was really proud that we are higher than Chick-fil-A. That's an accomplishment. Results like these don't happen by accident, folks. We have outstanding employees that make it happen. To illustrate the point, we've prepared a short video with member comments of appreciation for our employees. We refer to the members who make these comments as raving fans because that's exactly what they are. If they've taken a few minutes to contact us and let us know about something our folks did that impressed them, that's a raving fan in my book. Here's a video.
I live in a very small and rural community with 1 feeder line. Despite our remoteness and small density, Chelco still works with lightning speed to restore our power. Our local friends and family serviced by other power companies are envious and amazed at the level of service we receive compared to theirs. During today's storm, with hundreds of outages, Chelco restored my power in under 2 hours. We appreciate the excellent service that Chelco always provides.
I recently moved to Texas, and I called Chelco to have our service turned off and to get a credit reference for our new provider in Texas. My call was picked up promptly by Heather Bonus, who was cheerful, very helpful, and quick. She had everything set up and the credit reference was in my inbox almost before I hung up the phone.
A storm came through my area and blew a tree onto the power lines in front of my house. The Chelco crew that came to get the tree off the line were amazing. The guy in the bucket truck was a great example of how all linemen should be when they are looking for any kind of damage. He didn't know I was watching since I was in my house, but he was very careful and he did a fabulous job. I wanted to give the crew a huge thank you.
My wife and I live on Highway 331 South in Defuniak Springs, and we were having a couple of spans put on our property. Anita Massey came out with an easement to be signed and notarized. She was very prompt and really did a great job. I really appreciate the service Chelco offers. Anita was more than professional, and she was a big help to my wife and I.
I live out of state, but I have a home on Highway 38 in Santa Rosa Beach. I had an issue with my service here, and I decided to call Chelco, even though it was after hours. A kind man named Jeremy answered my call, addressed my concerns, and we solved the issue I was having. I want his supervisor to know that he handled my call very well, and I appreciate his help that evening.
I am the principal at a school in Funiac Springs, and I wanted to express our sincere appreciation for the Chelco crew that presented the Liveline demo to our students. Our faculty, staff, and students appreciate this amazing opportunity. Matthew Mitchell, Ricky Brazel, and Brian King were informative and professional in every way. Our hope is that our students are able to see future employment opportunities and gain a greater understanding of how our local co-op works and benefits our community. I would like to thank all those at Chelco who organize and plan these events for students in our area.
My wife and I are from Memphis, Tennessee, and are fairly new to the area. I've had several interactions with Chelco's member services staff, and each time they have taken good care of us. In our first contact with Chelco, my wife and I drove to the Defuniak Springs office, and a nice young lady named JC Mayo helped us. Sometime after that, I called and spoke with Miranda Smith, who told me Chelco has a Santa Rosa Beach office and gave us directions. When we visited the Santa Rosa Beach office, Pam Finch was happy to help me get copies of our last 3 bill statements, and I was in and out with just what I needed. My wife and I are happy to be on Chelco lines. The way they have taken care of us is a perfect example of what it means to live in the South.
These are just a few of the many comments we receive regarding our employees every year. They're a special group, and I appreciate them each and every day. Okay, now let's dive in and take a closer look at how we perform in a couple of critical areas in 2021. First is employee and public safety, which is our highest priority here at Chelco. As CEO, my single most important goal is to make certain every employee goes home safely to their families each and every night. An important indicator of employee safety is the number of days worked without a lost time injury. Earlier this year, our longest streak ever without a lost time injury unfortunately was snapped after reaching 885 days. Our current streak as of today stands at 91 days. Now, given the number of employees we have, which is over 160, and the type of work we perform on a daily basis, these numbers are impressive, and I'm very proud of our people. That said, there's always room for improvement, so we'll keep striving to get better. We're also concerned, of course, about the safety of our members and the general public around electricity, and you probably saw some of those booths out there today. So for that reason, we work hard to educate all members, but especially young people, about the dangers of electricity. In 2021, despite the pandemic, we were able to provide safety training and awareness to over 300 people at several events throughout our service territory. Our focus on safety will continue. Another area in which we had great success in 2021 was cost control and reduction. Wholesale power costs account for about 61% of every dollar you send us, as our board president mentioned earlier. Chelco has minimal direct control over these costs, so we focus our efforts primarily on what we consider controllable cost. These are also known as local distribution costs. These costs include everything except wholesale power cost, depreciation, interest, and taxes. Examples of these costs include expenditures to maintain Chelco's poles, lines, transformers, and offices. Other examples are employee wages and salaries, computer systems, postal cost, right-of-way clearing, and the list goes on and on. As you can see from the chart, we work hard to not only hold the line on these expenses, but have reduced them by 18% since 2014. Overall, our cost control and reduction initiatives saved members $2.75 million last year. On average, that's about $47 per account. So that's real money in your pocket. Since 2014, we've reduced costs by approximately $20.4 million. So given the current economic situation and the high inflation environment we all find ourselves in, the challenge to continue controlling costs will be even greater in the months and years to come. So let's all hope that inflation is reined in sooner rather than later. Our focus on cost control over the years has enabled us to implement several extra refunds or special capital credits. These refunds were in addition to once every year capital credit retirement that's conducted in December each year. You get that right before Christmas. In addition to these refunds, the board has approved 2 distribution rate decreases since 2015. The most recent was just last year. The last distribution rate increase was in 2013, so it's been 9 years. Because of our effectiveness at controlling costs last year and over the past several years, we're in a very strong financial position. Therefore, I'm pleased to announce there will be no distribution rate increase in 2022. The credit, yes, that is good news. The credit for the outstanding performance I've described here today belongs to the Board of Trustees, as well as every one of our employees. They all work very diligently on your behalf. Now let's shift gears. I've spoken to you at length about last year's operational performance. Now I'd like to focus on 2 ongoing projects at Chalco. First, an update on the cooperative solar program. Doesn't seem like it, but it's been 4 years since we completed the project. In doing so, we've made solar power available to our members without the cost and inconvenience of installing a system on their roof. And coming soon is a much larger solar project. Our wholesale power supplier, Power South Energy, is preparing to construct an 80-megawatt solar farm in southern Alabama. The project should come on late 2022, that's later this year, and will produce enough kilowatt hours to serve the energy needs of approximately 1,300 homes. So it's a big project. We are committed to renewables when they're economical, and this project fits that description. So stay tuned for more information in the year to come. A second major project I'd like to once again discuss with you is our Defuniak Springs facilities plan. Now, I've spoken to you about this several times in the past, at this meeting in fact, and it's also been featured in our monthly newsletter a couple of times. So my apologies if some of this is a repeat for you. Several years ago, your Board of Trustees recognized that our office facilities are technologically insufficient and much too small for our current and growing workforce. Given these unfortunate facts, the board directed me to begin working on a plan to enlarge and modernize our Defuniak Springs facilities. I'm sure you noticed in 2019, construction of our new Tech Center facility located on 331 North in Defuniak was completed. This building addressed some of our facilities issues, but not all of them. Many of you may be familiar with our headquarters building and member service office on Baldwin Avenue near downtown Defuniak Springs. After evaluating our options, we felt it was best to relocate employees in these buildings to new and expanded facilities on the West Defuniak Springs campus. Therefore, construction of a 25,000 square foot addition to the Tech Center began in 2021, and this was to house administrative staff. Additionally, renovation work was done on our operations facility that sits next door to that. That facility's been there for many years. And it's now, I would also say the Tech Center, I've referred to it as a Tech Center a couple of times, but we now refer to that entire building, the original building and the wing that's attached to the back as our headquarters building. Additional work will be done on the western half of our campus in 331 later this year on a much smaller facility. Now that construction is nearly completed, all of our office facilities in Defuniak Springs are located on one campus, thereby making our operation more streamlined and efficient. Because of our dedication to cost control, we've been able to improve our office facilities without, and I repeat, without raising distribution rates. We produced a short time-lapse video for you that visually displays the construction progress over the course of the project. Now, as you can see from my presentation this morning, there's a lot going on at your electric cooperative. It's an exciting time. We look forward to the future with great expectations, and we look forward to the challenges that lie ahead. In the meantime, we'll keep the lights on. Thank you very much.
Trying to get the microphone on, I think it is. Okay, thank you, Steve, for that excellent update. It was very good. At this time on our agenda, I'll ask for any new business. Hearing none, do we have any old business? Hearing none, we will now adjourn the business portion of our meeting. And on behalf of the Chalco Board of Trustees, thank you for joining us today. We will have the drawings for scholarships and the prizes. And I would like to ask Emily Cowan, Vice President of Member Services and External Affairs, back to the stage and wish each one of you good luck in the drawings. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Edmondson. The Board of Trustees and the CEO will now adjourn to conduct their organizational meeting. But I'd like to take a minute for the audience to give them a round of applause for their hard work all year long. The very talented Todd Spark is going to join us again for a couple of songs while the team prepares for the drawings. So don't go anywhere and enjoy the entertainment. So fun to listen to live music. That's something that I've missed over the last couple of years. All right, on to the drawings. Each year, Chalco generously gives 6 $1,000 scholarships. In order to qualify, the students must be a dependent of a Chalco member, have a GPA of 2.5, send in their short application, and attend this meeting. The scholarships will go to students who will attend trade school or college as undergraduates in 2022. This year, we received almost 50 applications. Thank you to everyone who applied. I'd like to introduce Communications and Community Affairs Supervisor Bonnie Whitfield and Communications Specialist Tyler Wood to conduct the scholarship drawing. Thank you.
At this time, we will draw 6 $1,000 scholarships. And we ask that as the students come up on the stage that win, that you line up and remain on stage for a quick photo session. We want to get all your pretty faces in the camera. Is that it? Okay. Tyler's getting us ready. All right, the last couple of years we've drawn our scholarship winners virtually, but I am so excited to see all of your pretty faces here today to join us for our first in-person annual meeting in a couple of years. Congratulations to Brooke Lewis from Niceville High School. You are the winner of our first $1,000 scholarship. Show some enthusiasm. The next $1,000 scholarship winner is Emily Casey from Walton High School. Our third lucky student is Hannah Blanton from Niceville High School. We're halfway now. Ty Sheriff from South Walton High School just won a $1,000 scholarship to help cover college expenses. The next deserving winner for Chalco's 2022 scholarship is Brandolyn Ring from Rocky Bayou Christian School. This is the last one, such an exciting process. Jake Powell from Walton High School. We are thrilled to provide you with a $1,000 scholarship. Come on up to the stage. Congratulations to our scholarship winners. We wish you all the very best in your educational journey.